All rise. Judge for the B Court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1009, Moore versus Davis.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. You all may be seated. Okay, Miss Moore,
Yes, ma'am.
you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, my husband, or I'm sorry, ex-husband, we have a mutually beneficial agreement with our children where he keeps them at night and I keep them during the day.
Okay.
But my job no longer allows me to stay home with them during the day, and I would like for them to go to daycare now during the day, and he does not want them to.
Okay.
All right, guys, get ready because this case is about to get interesting. A mother wants to enroll her kids in daycare, but the father refuses. Sounds like a simple disagreement? Not at all. This case touches on shared custody, financial responsibilities, and a father who sees daycare as a germ-filled nightmare. Judge Bundy takes charge as the mother explains her situation. Her job no longer allows her to stay home, so daycare is necessary. The father, however, stands firm, insisting that family care is the better option. But here's the problem. He hasn't even visited the daycare to see if his concerns are valid. This case is turning into a battle between logic and emotion. The mother wants structure and stability, while the father wants control over the environment. But the judge, she's about to cut through the noise and focus on what really matters. Let's see how this unfolds.
How old are the children?
2 years and 18 months.
Okay. And you already picked out the daycare you want them to go to and everything like
Yes.
that? How much is it?
It is $500 a month
$500 for both children?
for one child, so it's $1,000 a month for both children.
Oh, okay.
It's a nationally accredited daycare.
Okay. That's not bad for 2 kids. What's your opposition to that?
Well, I don't think they should be in daycare. I think she should stay with them like we originally planned. I didn't get a chance to check out the daycare. I just would rather them stay with her mom or one of our family members.
Okay. Did you let him know which daycare?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
He was invited to go meet the teachers and do the tour, but he opted not to go.
So you did have an opportunity to go.
I was invited, but I don't really want my kids in that daycare. I don't want to be in that
What's
daycare.
wrong with the daycare?
They're full of germs. For starters,
this courtroom is full of germs.
Okay, but children germs, they're next level.
Okay, do they disinfect the daycare?
I don't know that.
They do.
Right, you don't know. So you haven't even had the opportunity, you haven't taken the opportunity to try to do any kind of research.
Okay.
But the fact that there are germs at the daycare, I mean, that's not.
The mother lays it all out. She and her ex-husband had an agreement. She cared for the kids during the day, and he took over at night. But now with a full-time job, she can't stay home. Her solution? Daycare. And not just any daycare. A nationally accredited one that guarantees education, safety, and proper care. But here's where things get complicated. The father refuses to approve the plan. Has he visited the daycare? No. Has he researched its quality? No. His only argument? Daycares are full of germs. Sure, every daycare is germs, but that's not a valid reason to reject the idea. Frustrated, the mother points out a deeper issue, his germophobia. She believes this isn't really about daycare, but about control, an issue that even contributed to their split. And the judge, she's already catching on.
A good enough reason why you don't want them in there.
I would rather them be with family, people we know.
Okay, I mean, that's a valid point.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Yes.
I'm a doctor. I'm around germs all day. This is one reason that we did not work out.
It's a big problem.
My ex-husband is a germaphobe, and he feels like if the children aren't kept in a bubble basically all day, that something terrible is going to happen to them. But that's no reason. That's no way for these kids to live. And I have to go save lives every day, while he just sits in his living room, hermetically sealed off living room.
That's dramatic.
Well, it's not that dramatic. What's dramatic is he wouldn't even show up for this tour at the daycare so he could see that it is a clean daycare. It's nationally accredited. Also, our children would have loved to have seen you.
Okay, Look, with all due respect, I'm only in. I don't even want to be in this courtroom, Your Honor. It's.
I can understand that. Sometimes I don't want to be here.
I don't want to be here.
So I mean,
Yeah, but I'm here. I'm here for the kids, and I would prefer if they weren't in a daycare, if they were at one of our family members, where we can give them special instructions on cleaning and what the children need to stay healthy.
well, I definitely understand, and I agree. In a lot of cases, it is good for the children to be around a family member and everything like that. However, age 2 years old, and what was the other age?
18 months.
18 months. I mean, it's nothing wrong with them going to school already. You do want them to start learning a lot of things. You just do. There are some things that you guys are not going to be able to teach them at home. Not that you can't, it's just you may not have the time to do it. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea, but I do think it's a good idea for you to go and speak to the teachers, look around the daycare, see about the cleanliness of it and everything like that, and you guys should just work together and co-parent. So
Now the father speaks, making his argument clear. He doesn't trust daycare. He insists the child should stay with family, where cleanliness can be controlled. But there's a major flaw in his reasoning. He never even visited the daycare. How could he be against something he hasn't seen? Then comes the real issue, his obsession with germs. The mother calls him out, saying his extreme cleanliness was a problem in their relationship, and judging by his behavior, she's not wrong. He wants to keep the kids in a bubble, but that's not how life works. The judge isn't convinced. She reminds him that germs are everywhere, even in the courtroom. A licensed daycare can't be rejected based on paranoia alone. If germs are his biggest concern, this case is slipping out of his hands, and he's starting to realize it.
the agreement is just going to stand what it is. You guys keep doing your agreement where you have your time with the children, and you keep rotating like that. Nobody should pay child support in this type of situation. But what I will do to make sure that daycare does get paid is that you guys split it. So $1,000, you pay $500, you pay $500, and it's going to go through the Attorney General of Texas. And that's just the best way to do it, because that at least ensures that the children's daycare is paid for month to month.
Oh, okay, but now I'm paying for the daycare that I don't want them to go to, and I have them at night. She's supposed to be responsible for the day. If they were in night care, I would pay for it, and I just don't see how this is fair. She makes 3 times as much money as I do.
Right, but you guys have been splitting the children, right? You've been splitting the children, and it's not a bad idea. And honestly, that's a very reasonable cost for 2 children at a daycare, because a lot of times, especially the younger a child is, the 18-month-old, it could be more expensive than that. And I think that's fair. Or, you know, I could base, let me see, how much money you make a year? Let's see. Your document says $62,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like for me to base child support that you pay her off of $62,000 a year? Because I can assure you it will be more than $500.
Then no.
Okay, well, you know, in that case, is there anything further between either
No,
of you?
Your Honor. Thank you.
That'll be all? That'll be all from you? Okay, where you all are dismissed.
Now the law takes over, and the judge makes a quick decision. The kids will go to daycare. It's a place where they can learn, grow, and interact with others. Something they wouldn't get by staying home. The father's concerns aren't backed by facts, so the decision stands. But there's another issue. Who pays for daycare? The judge keeps it simple. Both parents split the cost, $500 each. Sounds fair, right? Not to the father. He argues that since daycare happens during the mother's time, she should cover it alone. The judge shuts that down fast, warning him that if he keeps pushing, child support calculations will kick in, and he'll likely pay even more than $500 a month. Faced with that reality, he backs down. In the end, the court ruled based on what's best for the kids, not what makes a parent comfortable. The father didn't want daycare, but personal fears don't outweigh practicality. As for the cost, a fair split was the only option. He tried to argue, but the numbers weren't on his side. The judge made it clear, push too hard, and you'll end up paying even more. This case is a lesson in custody agreements. They require teamwork, not control. A parent's personal fears don't shape reality, and when logic meets emotions in a courtroom, logic always wins.